CNN. Same sort of deal here on CNN. Were we looking at their numbers earlier? You saw this, guys. This is no good. CNN, whoa. Okay, so during primetime in July, CNN had 444,000 total viewers and 78,000 in the demo. That's not really very good, okay? Because again, we're doing more than that on any given day right here on the Trish Regan channel. I'm very proud of it, like 100 and some odd million views a month. It's incredible, really. And you know what else is interesting for advertisers? They actually can really pinpoint. It's like if you're a fan of the show, they know a whole lot about you, you know, whether we like that or not, because of the data footprint online. Whereas if you're tuning into MSNBC, maybe you're going to watch the commercial, maybe you're not. But, you know, they have no idea. They also don't really know who they're getting. They have these very broad categories that Nielsen ratings will deliver for them. And so nobody's watching. And you can't pinpoint exactly who is watching. And let me just ask you, has anybody, let me ask this question to the group right now. Let me know in the live chat. Have you ever, I want to know if anyone has ever been contacted by Nielsen ratings. Have you ever gotten anything? I'm just looking off camera so I can see some of your comments and reactions. I have no, I mean, like, does Nielsen ratings, it's kind of a mystery. They used to have these diaries where you were supposed to write down exactly what you were watching. And apparently now they have certain remotes for your household and they say that they can track all this stuff. I'm not so sure. Really and truly, I'm not so sure how they come up with this data. Let me know if you've ever gotten a Nielsen remote in your house. I've asked everyone, like, no, I don't know a single soul that's ever had a Nielsen box or remote or diary or anything. So I don't even know how they come up with this data. But let's just say whatever data it is, it's pretty bad. Okay, over at CNN, they're the worst of the bunch here. They dropped 11% in total viewers, 15% in the demo during prime time, decreased 10% in total viewers, 15% in demo during the day. And if you look at the performance over the same month in 2024, this is when it gets really ugly. It's down 59% in total viewers, 68% in the demo. I mean, they are just hemorrhaging. They are hemorrhaging viewers. And why is it? Well, one, again, it's because of what we're doing over here. But two, it's also because people don't trust them because the bias is like off the charts, for goodness sakes. They just did a study on this over at Media Research Center. My friends there said one of the worst offenders, Abby Phillips. Have you ever seen this show? You might have seen it because sometimes I actually play the clips of Scott Jennings because he's just so darn good. And I'm like, poor Scott, you know what? This guy deserves a gold star, a big trophy, a medal, a medal of honor, right? Because he goes in there every night and it's like 9 against 1. And this woman like cuts him off every chance she gets. She's got the most successful show. I attribute this actually to Scott being on it because you hear a different viewpoint. And so it's thus, therefore, more interesting, right? He's got some spunk. He's got some personality. She just interrupts him. Since last summer, they write, when CNN Newsnight shifted to a panel discussion only format, host Abby Phillip has been praised for consistently inviting prominent conservatives. Oh, gosh. She's actually willing to go there and sit at the same table with them. Wow, we got to give her praise for inviting prominent conservatives onto an otherwise lopsidedly left-wing network. But with how rarely Phillip actually permits said conservative guests, they write, to finish a point without interrupting them, Newsnight is more akin to a televised television struggle session than the beacon of ideological diversity as which it sometimes is portrayed. Case in point, just in case you're doubting, our friends at Media Research Center, they put together this little clip and we're gonna watch it together because Abby loves to interrupt only conservatives.
Obama used the IRS against his political enemies. That did happen. But he did. Yes, he did.
He is not a citizen. If he were a citizen, I might feel differently. He's a guest in this country.
Okay.
It's my view,
so in other
and
words,
it's the Trump
you don't
administration.
have proof, but it doesn't matter.
Can I finish my freaking statement?
No.
We just I want to pause here.
After the Floyd riot, policemen, in fear of their jobs many times, and political coverage, pull back from their jobs, resulting in an increased level of
listen, I got to stop you there because hold on.
You can look at the Washington Post.
Ryan, we got to stop you there because you're literally making a connection out of your own conjecture. You cannot
it's
just
a real
do
thing.
that.
Look up the Ferguson effect. Look up the Floyd effect. It is a real term.
You cannot
It's a real term. I didn't make this up.
Invent a connection between two things.
Harry Enton's own numbers last week said 51% of people are supportive of ICE in their communities. There was a poll today reported on by Politico, big stack, saying 50% support Trump's
I understand what you're.
policy.
Hold on.
Kamala Harris addressed the American Federation of Teachers and joined them in opposing banning of books. And here's the book that was in
Sorry,
question.
are we talking in favor of banning books now?
LBJ actually flew the Fed chief down to Texas to his ranch and berated him because he was pissed off about some of his decisions.
And then what?
Let's remember.
And then what? No. And then what happened?
I want to make my point.
Finish your point.
Then
What
George
happened?
H.W. Bush.
But
even
Chair
blamed
Michael,
his Fed chair
I'm going to
for why
pause
he
you there.
lost.
He's a resident alien. He can be deported under U.S. law for if the Secretary of State has any reasonable ground to believe he would have a potentially serious adverse foreign policy consequence. And you mentioned the student organization. The student organization put out. Let me finish.
But before you move on.
Unbelievable, right? So they did their homework. These guys are actually really good at deciphering all of this bias out there. They're the ones that concluded, I think it was 92% of all coverage of Donald Trump was negative, while like 99% of the coverage of Kamala Harris was positive. I mean, the bias is so excessive and wrong. And this is why some of the networks are finding themselves in a situation where they're at risk of losing their FCC licenses. They're flipping out over at NBC, right? That's in part why they had to do this spinoff. Comcast is getting rid of the cable networks because it doesn't want anything to do with MSNBC, because it wants to preserve its NBC affiliate stations and the affiliate licenses, which are granted by the federal government. And those are all at risk right now. ABC, same kind of thing, which is why I'm telling you, The View is at risk right now. I mean, you don't even have to listen to me. I think Rosie O'Donnell, who was on the show twice, said absolutely it's at risk right now. And the host would be smart to recognize that. I think they have. I think that's why Joy Behar was selling her house out in Sag Harbor, right? She sees the handwriting on the wall. She's also 82. So that may have something to do with it as well. But it's all changing, and it's changing so fast. And I'm amazed by it. I love it. It's happening in real time, and it's exciting. I want to get to RFK. RFK Jr., I mean, this was wild what we saw with Elizabeth Warren, for example, and he took her to task, and the media is piling on him. They want to take him out like you wouldn't believe, but it's not working, and I'll tell you why. But first, quick shout out to my company, 76 Research. Listen, if you're trying to invest in the markets, let us help you however we can. We have a newsletter. We get something actually coming out today on the jobs report, because even though we only added 22,000 jobs, it's not all bad. And Rob and I are going to explain to you exactly why. We do have portfolios with actual stocks in them that you can use our research to invest in. So I encourage you to take a look at those as well. If you use code word $deal, LLAR, it's just $1 a month for the first 2 months, and it goes to $9.95 thereafter. It is transparent. It is real. We are only telling you exactly what we think as long-term investors. So there's no reason for us to tell you about a stock unless we fundamentally feel it's a good one.